So I'm supposed to be selling this, right? I've told you before, it's been advertised. But so we have a brand new Safety Devices 6-point external roll cage. It mounts to the rear cross member, the front outriggers, no, mid outriggers, and the front outriggers, I suppose, as well. I couldn't resist a bargain. It was at the Land Rover show in Peterborough. Let's just say it was pretty much half price. It was the only one there from Safety Devices themselves. As it turned out, they are quite local to me. So I was able to leave it in the back of their lorry and go and pick it up this morning. Now we're all home. So I've been trying to squeeze it in the caravan at the weekend. So, right, I suppose we should start breaking it down and getting it fitted. Well, made a start on the cage. And as you can see, we've got holes. Also stripped out some of the insides, got the floor mat out, got the second battery out, and I think I'm going to have to move these cables as well. And also started getting the front wings off, ready for the front tubes. Well, my plan yesterday was to video as much of this cage fitting as possible, but it took 12 hours to get where we are now. Didn't really have the time to get it, to get videoing, and I didn't want to get in the way of my man who was helping me. So I'll have a quick look round and show you. So we've got all the uprights in pretty much. So don't know if you can see behind there. No, hang on. I'll start from the back in here. So we've got that upright in, which goes down to, well, there you go, an upright from there down to the back of the bulkhead. No, cross member, bolted on there. We have, it's too hard to show you with the seats in the way, but there is a bar that goes under the tub, across the chassis, cross member, and up to behind the seats there for the outside ones, for those. So it comes down there, and as you can see, the back of it, through the rear bulkhead, cross member, at the back of behind the seats, down to that bar, which runs the whole length of, the whole width of the chassis, and so obviously comes up and does the same the other side, and then bolts to the chassis outrigger there. So we put these two on just so I haven't got to try and do it myself. They're all loose because obviously I'm not going to tighten anything up until it's all technically there. So they're done. Front end wise, you have to put these plates in the back of the wings. Now you have to take out the corner piece that was here. It's just riveted on, and then they tell you to drill it and rivet it so it basically it's part of the wing. So now you can't just slide the wing over, you've got to reach through and bolt it in like that. And then you've got the plate on the front there. That's just a positioning plate. So both wings are done. Now the only issue I've got is with that there, I can't have my snorkel. So I've now got a hole in my wing. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that yet. I don't know if it's going to foul that bracket for the snorkel yet, so we'll have to see. And I can't have, where is it? This wing air intake that I searched high and low for weeks and weeks, because it doesn't fit behind there with that in place. So I don't quite know what I'm going to do yet for a snorkel. Now for the front wings, I've got to put them on. Obviously, as I say, I've got to take all these out. I can't just hook it over. I've got to actually reach in and do them up. And you get a bracket on the cross member there. No, on the outrigger. That bolts the bottom of the wing to it. Again, all loose. Nothing's tight yet. And I've had to pull out, well, I pulled out the heater box to be able to access all the snorkel plumbing, which obviously now I don't know what I'm going to do with it. So, I don't know. Anyway, what I'm going to do now is put the front wings back on. And then we will start getting it all back together, because I need to use this tomorrow. And it is now midday. So I need to crack on. Well, the cage is all on. I've just installed them spotlights up there. Haven't wired them in yet. I've run the wires down to the car. Just not actually connected them up yet. So, yeah, I'm sorry I didn't film much of fitting it, but, you know, there's only so much I can do on my Jack Jones. So, it's on. I'll get it outside tomorrow and take you round it again, just so you can see it in the daylight. But I'll also finish wiring them spotlights up. And here she is, in all her roll caged glory. Still haven't wired the lights up yet. I'll be doing that later today. Yeah, I managed to get all the crap off the wing. I've ordered a vent to go in there, so I'll cut that hole out to suit the vent and then put the vent on. I know it doesn't really do much, but it covers that hole. And then we'll have to get the safety devices, snorkel for the other side, and work out what we're doing that way. But yeah, it's on. The rear ladder's on. She's looking all right. Shame I've got to sell her, but never mind. Well, we've got them all wired in, so can't really see because of the sun outside, but there you go, they're all on. Hopefully at night that'll give me quite a bit of light. Right, well, I've got the 90 up on the lift today because we are going on a bit of a trip this weekend coming. So I need to change the fluids and check everything. And while I had the wheels off, because obviously I was trying to keep the weight down as much as possible, I noticed the brake lines. Now, I've not noticed that before, bizarrely, but look at that angle, that's just definitely not right. Now, I've had a look at other axles I've got, and that bracket is that way round, but the brake lines are at the front, which would make sense. Now, turning the bracket round won't fit. Changing it from side to side, backwards, maybe. But what I've done is left the bracket alone. I have installed some Goodrich hoses that are a bit longer and come out the way, and I've made some copper lines. Now, I'm not going to win any prizes for perfectly shaped copper lines, but they are on. They are out the way of everything. Lock to lock, they're fine. They might look a bit close to the spring, but actually they miss quite a bit. So I'm now going to do the other side to match. But yeah, I think this will be a better solution than having them pipe stretched. And obviously that's just with the axle drooped. With the axle, obviously the axle the other side up and it down on a thing, this will pull it even more. So I mean, I suppose it might pull it a bit straighter, but still that's not good, being against the spring. So yeah, I think that is the way forward for now. Maybe in the future I might get some other brackets, TD5 brackets, if they're different, or I don't know, maybe put these on the other way round, maybe they're back to front, I don't know. But as I say, on another disco axle I've got, they are this way round because the pipes come down here, not behind the spring, so that's probably why. Anyway, let's get the other side done. Okay, sorry it's a bit dark because I'm just about to go home, so I've turned all the lights off. I have changed all the fluids, so engine and filter, gearbox, transfer box, axles. Well, I haven't done the rear because I rebuilt that very recently, so just the front. I have topped up the washer fluid, checked the coolant, checked the power steering fluid. I've changed the rear prop because the one that was on there didn't have greasable UJs and it was a bit notchy, so I've put a greasable one on there and greased all that up, so therefore greased the front prop as well. I've checked all the tyre pressures. I have changed the brakes. I've put Goodrich lines on, changed the hard lines, bled the brakes. So, bar a couple more bits that are due tomorrow, I think, cross my fingers, we're ready to go. So, I'll show you what's turning up tomorrow when it arrives. I made a slide hammer. Woohoo! Right, well obviously I haven't got a wing vent on this side because it's a early 85 Defender. So I've got to make the snorkel fit. So I've semi-fitted it to the cage and then drawn round it and then used the gasket to make the holes. So the 4 holes on the inside of the line is what I'm going to cut out. And then obviously it will fix on the outside holes. So I'm going to start cutting. And there it is, the snorkel is on. I haven't got it connected up on the inside yet because I need to get the internal vent that connects all that together. So, but yeah, it's looking smart. Also did the vent this side. As you can see, covers up most of the hole. There is 2 more little holes, but I would need a rather sizable vent like a BMW front grille to cover those. So they'll have to stay, but yeah, so I think we are ready for Wales. There we go, we have some hefty old locks on now. I know they're not the most attractive, but it means I couldn't get the old lock in here to work because of the cage, so now we've got some external proper hefty locks. So that's the result, and the driver's side one's done. The driver's door is a little bit wonky, so it's a bit harder to use, but hopefully once it's used a few times it will loosen up slightly and make it a bit easier. And also we've gone round and put all the nut covers on the outside as well, because safety devices only send enough for the inside, because they use Allen head bolts to bolt it with, but I've used hexes and put the black caps over it. I just think it makes it look a bit neater. So right, I'm off to Wales. Thanks for watching, like, subscribe and share, and we'll see you very soon in another video.